Hi, and welcome to this installment of Bite-Sized PD. My name is Sarah Perry, and I'm one of the Innovative Education Facilitators here at the Durham District School Board. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the streaming video choices that we have for you to use in your classroom with your students. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen with you. You can just bear with me for a second while I get that up. Before we begin this session, I did want to go through how we will be able to do the chat. So if you look at the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see that there is a chat area. And in order to be able to participate in the chat, if you haven't already created your YouTube Live account, your YouTube channel account, you'll need to do that today. So to do that, you first have to log into your DDSB account using your username, remembering that your username is actually your computer login at ddsb.ca. It isn't your first name dot last name, so just make sure you're using that username. And then you're going to click on here on My Channel. And when you do that, you're going to put your information in there, create channel, and you should now have the permissions needed to be able to participate in the chat at the side. So if you have any questions you'd like to ask, please type those into the side screen where you have the chat area, and I will try my best to answer them during the broadcast. If by chance I happen to miss it, I will try and get back to you with the answers for your question. As always, if you are watching this after our live broadcast, you're more than welcome to send any questions my way. So that's at sarah.perry, P-A-R-R-Y, at ddsb.ca, or of course you can just send an email to our general email account, because that's where we all have access and you probably have a better chance of getting a quicker response, and that's innovative.education@ddsb.ca. So if you send us an email, we should be able to get back to you with the questions. I'm going to start today at the DDSB mobile campus. So I'm just going to pull up that tab. So this is the student mobile campus. There is also a teacher mobile campus. So the student one can be found at student.ddsb.ca. And of course, the teacher one can be found at teacher.ddsb.ca. But the teacher one doesn't have this nice big red button here. So the big red button is the Learning Commons, and that's our DDSB library page. By clicking on that, it will take you to our library page where there are tons of tools that you can use. But we're going to focus on the streaming tools today. To find those, you're going to go into research. And though it might seem a little counterintuitive, you are going to click on encyclopedias, because we do want students encouraged to use streaming video in part of their inquiry process when they're trying to answer those rich inquiry questions. By scrolling down to the bottom of that encyclopedia page, you'll see our streaming video sources. There, we do have access to Learn 360. We've had that for quite a number of years, so I'm actually not going to be showing that one today, but it does have fantastic resources. I know a few years ago, some of us complained that some of the resources were a little bit dated and looked older and maybe weren't the best that we were looking for. But if you go back and revisit it, they've actually added a ton of new content from providers like A&E and other big companies like HBO. So there are lots of other great documentaries in Learn 360, and I definitely encourage you to check that out. But being that this is a bite size and we try and keep it short, we're just going to look at some of our newer sources. The first one I'm going to look at with you is Curio. Curio is a streaming video service put out by the CBC. It is a subscription one, so we do have it is one that our board pays for us to have access to. And the nice piece is, because it is put out by the CBC, it is all Canadian content. And that, I know that is such a difficult thing to try and navigate through if you're using something like YouTube. So when you're trying to find good Canadian content, Curio is a great place to start. You'll notice that there are two buttons side by side, elementary and secondary. Both have the same access to content, except that the elementary kind of filters it a little bit so that it's more appropriate for that elementary side. You'll notice that when you click on secondary and go in, it's just more mature content that your students are able to access. So I would definitely encourage elementary students to access this elementary side. And this is the button we are going to explore today. Right away, you're brought into Kids Curio by clicking on that elementary button. So you'll see here on the left-hand side, there are some tabs at the side here with subject areas. So we get automatically with the elementary one brought into this Kids Curio right here. So under Kids Curio, you'll see that there's 2 subject areas, math, science and technology, and social studies. I'm going to go ahead and click in the math area. And you'll see that there are a ton of different topics under that math and science. Before we go and explore the mathematics tab over here, I just want to point out a couple of things so that you know as you're navigating through the site what you're looking for. Each video has a thumbnail, so it kind of gives you an idea of what you're going to be watching with the title. It also gives you a description right beside. And underneath that is some important information you may be looking for as you search. You'll see here a little calendar icon with a year. So this was the year that this was created on. And you can also see at the end here when it was added. So this video was created in 2017 and added on May 12th of that year. Also here is the timing of the video, so the length of the video, which may help you if you're looking for a shorter or longer clip, depending on the time you're planning to watch with your students. Finally, there's this 9 to 12, and that's the audience level. So I do want to make sure I point out that this is an age level, not grade. So when you're looking at the videos and you see 9 to 12, that's saying it's appropriate for ages 9 to 12, but definitely depending on the topic and the level of your students could be used with younger students or older students. So it's definitely not can only be used, but it is usually a starting point suggestion. So this one probably wouldn't be appropriate for kindergarten. From this description right here, I could click on watch and go directly into watching a streaming copy of the video, or I could click on more details, which will take me into a page about this video and give me more details than I'm seeing just here. So rather than just search through these ones here, I'm going to go ahead and go back to that mathematics topic, click on mathematics, and up should pop some math videos. So these are math videos at all different age levels. And you can see there I get 13 to 14, 5 to 8. So all different age levels. Again, it'll give me the timing, so the approximate time of the video. And again, I can watch, or I could go in for more details. So let's go up to this Monster Math Squad, a very popular CBC series. So it will give me more explanation for what the video is about. Also gives me access to teacher guides if I'd like. It tells me what categories I can find that in and gives me some subject areas. So again, I can just click watch right from here, start playing the video, and it will start playing for my students and I. I'm just going to close that off, and I am going to go back to that home page that we started at. So I'm going to go back into the Kids Curio categories, and this perfectly leads me into explaining these tabs across the top. So up here, you'll see that there's categories. Kids Curio is where we are now, but you can also go in all these other subject areas depending on the subject area you are teaching. This is absolutely appropriate for both elementary and secondary students. You also have the opportunity to look at some of the shows that the CBC has to offer. Not necessarily all of them are here, but many of them can be found on this webpage. And you can see there's quite a few in there. So you can also sort through the shows by the different subject areas. Next, we have collections. So these are collections that have been curated by Curio. So they've gone through all of their videos and put them together in topic collections, if you will. So you can see here things very timely, like the forest fires that we've had in BC, Turtle Island reads. So ton of also very timely around legalization of cannabis, and lots of other topics that have come up in the media and around education. Finally, we have channels. So channels is also another interesting place to go into. News and review is fantastic if you're looking for quick, short clips of the news to share with your classroom. We have received these in the Durham District School Board for years. They used to, years and years ago when I started as a teacher librarian in that world, they came to us in VHS tapes and would have the clips of the news compiled for us to show to students. But now we have access to them online streaming here through Curio. So you'll see these are the current news and review, but they also have the archived, so right back to 1990. And we all know how important it is to be able to share historical news information with our students, and especially if we would like them to look through that inquiry lens and comparing changes in the time. We do have access through to the National Geographic channel as well. So those are where you're able to go through for channels. Finally, what I wanted to show you on here is this resources tab. When I hover over resources, you will see curricula come up. If I click on curricula, I can go and find and search by Ontario curriculum expectations. So you'll see here, there are tons of resources en français for our French teachers and students, and all of those subject areas are available in French as well as in English. So if I were to go to English, it's going to show me the different grade levels for my secondary students and be able to search for content related to those subject areas. So very useful if you're trying to specifically find videos to meet a certain curriculum expectation, or be able to demonstrate to your students where that video falls. Up here in the left-hand corner, we're almost done with Curio, but before we go, I would be remiss if I didn't share the French side. So by clicking on the CBC Radio Canada, we do go to the French side of the CBC, and we are able to access all of those tools in French for our French students. I'm just going to go back here. You can actually also, so you can go to their main page and visit, but up here on the right-hand side is Français. If I click on Français, it will turn all of the categories and curate and pull all of the French videos available from Radio Canada. So you'll notice that some of these actually change a little bit. And some of the video content will change, obviously, for the French content. And this is all pulled French first language. So it's not just English videos turned with French subtitles. This is all French first language videos. So fantastic resources for all of our teachers. Right now, I'm going to go back to our Durham District School Board Library page. So that was Curio. Tons of information and great resources there. But we also have Encore. So Encore streaming service is new within the last couple of years, and it is videos from McIntyre Media. A lot of these videos were the DVDs that you would borrow from MediaNet, and different videos that we had from there. Some of them are available now on McIntyre Media, sorry. So you'll see automatically when it comes up, it's just the most popular or featured videos that we have. And right away, you'll notice that some of these are the videos. So we have copies of these in English, but we also have the French versions available for you to use as well. There are segments as well as full titles. So some of the videos you will notice are shorter segments rather than a full episode or of a program. You can search by keyword. You can go into the curriculum and search by curriculum area, which might be useful. You can add a grade level as well. So by clicking after you choose your subject area, I can go in and select a grade level that I'm looking for. If I need to go into a course section, so I'm actually looking at the different areas of, I picked art, so it will give the different strand areas of art and even specific strands if you're looking for them. So you can see here that we have 11 full titles and 19 segments. So there are tons of great videos. The fantastic thing about Encore is all of these videos were selected by Durham District School Board teachers, whether that be teacher librarians, classroom teachers, subject-specific teachers, subject facilitators. They were all invited in to help curate the list of videos that appear for us and were purchased for our Encore streaming site. So the great thing is as you go through these videos, you know they were chosen by your colleagues as good videos to be used in your classroom with your students. So again, tons of great videos. When you hover over top, you get a little description. You're given the running time. And again, remembering that I asked for grade 3 videos, but you will get the grade level of the video as you hover over top. So great videos available through Encore. And just before we leave, there is an advanced search that is available. So again, it takes some of those searches from the front video here and just puts them on one page for you. So you're able to go through, collect or select all of these different fields and then search for your videos there. So that is Encore Video. I am going to take a minute and take us to MediaNet. MediaNet, if you've been teaching as long as I have, I've been teaching 19 years, but it used to be the place that I went to sign out all my VHS videos, books, or things I wanted for my classroom. So a lot of us, as we started to use streaming videos from places like YouTube, kind of abandoned the MediaNet site. But we're hoping to be able to bring you back to this site. So you can find it at media.ddsb.ca. And the thing we'd really like to point out to all of you is to let you know that all of the titles from those streaming sites I've shown you, including Learn360, can be found through the search engine of MediaNet. So it is great to have all these places to go, but can be time consuming and a little bit overwhelming to go to all the different sites and try and search through. MediaNet is the way that you can be able to search in one place and be able to get lists of videos from all those different places. So if I was teaching math and I wanted to pull up streaming videos only, I'm going to go to all formats. I'm going to select digitized video. So digitized video means digital video, streaming video. I can also select the audience. So maybe I want junior, and we'll see what we get. When I select, after I select my audience, my media type, and my subject area, I'm just going to click submit. And it does take a minute for MediaNet to pull those sources because we do have so many resources listed on that site. But now you'll see videos pulled up, and you can see that I have 100 videos pulled up here that came up that are at the junior level. So when you look at all of these videos, you'll see here it has PJ, so that means it's appropriate for primary junior. Down here you can see a junior intermediate, and some are PJI. There might also be a K for kindergarten. So that will show you what the age level of the video is, but it also gives you the year. So you're able to quickly look through, especially with things like Learn360, where we know some of the material there is dated. But I can go ahead and look and try and find those titles. I'm going to go ahead and pick the first one here, 2D shapes, because maybe that's what my lesson is on in my math class. It will tell me the length of it. So it tells me that it's 1:05. Who produced the video? So this came out of the BBC Worldwide Learning. And here at the bottom, I have a link right to Learn360, where if I clicked on that link, it would take me directly to the video to be able to show my class. So a nice, easy way to be able to find videos and put those together for my class. Just by scrolling down, I also just wanted to show you there are direct links to McIntyre Media, the video streaming online. We have Learn360 here. This gives you the teacher version of Learn360. When you go through the DDSB library, you are getting a student version of it. So if you're looking to be able to make playlists and those kinds of things and create playlists that you can keep, you may want to access it through your MediaNet account. So you're already logged into MediaNet and it takes you directly into Learn360 that way. By going up top here, there's just a few other things I want to point out at MediaNet that might be unfamiliar to you. At the top here, we have quick lists, and this was something I never made use of before because I really didn't know what it was, to be honest, before I came into this role. So I really wanted to point this out to all of you. When we look at the quick list, you'll see that you can browse by quick list. So we can look by subject areas in elementary or secondary. I can also look for professional quick list. So by clicking on these, it'll bring up a list of all of the things under that topic area that we have at the board. But finally, there's this one down here called streaming video. If I wanted to bring up every Curio CBC title, I could easily just go here, click this, and it'll bring me every Curio video. I wouldn't necessarily want to search that way, but I know some people might like to, so it's there. But what you'll notice is there's one that didn't have a button on the library page, and it is called Cinefet. Cinefet is a curated list from Cinefet videos of French material. So there, at this point, there are not a ton on there, but we are trying to add some more. And you'll notice that there are French videos, which is French can always be tends to be a very difficult area to try and find resources. So we did want to let everybody know that there's this extra secret place where some of those are that you can find. And there are some fantastic titles here. And you can see fairly new content in the last few years for you to share with your students. And I am just going to stop sharing my screen quickly. And you are back to me. And I just really want to thank everybody for joining me for this latest Bite-Sized PD on streaming video. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to email us or anyone in the team. You can also email our general mailbox at innovative.education@ddsb.ca. Thanks again, and I hope you come back and join us for more Bite-Sized PD.